Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video like up. Billy, Abbott and Sally Spectra have been inching closer for weeks, with a chemistry that feels undeniable even to the most skeptical Genoa City residents. After years of heartbreak, setbacks, and second chances, the two have finally been ready to give in to what's been brewing between them. For Billy, Sally represents something fresh, someone who understands his flaws but doesn't try to fix him. For Sally, Billy has been a surprising source of stability, a man who listens, encourages, and sees her worth without comparison to her past mistakes. This week, the pair finally set aside their doubts and plan a romantic night that they both hope will mark the beginning of a new chapter. The anticipation is electric. Billy arranges for a quiet, intimate evening, complete with wine and soft music. Sally, feeling both excited and nervous, lets herself imagine what it might mean if this night goes the way she hopes. For a woman who has spent much of her life fighting for scraps of love, the idea of being truly cherished by someone as open and honest as Billy is almost too much to believe. She tells herself to stop overthinking and just enjoy the moment. But Genoa City has never been a place where romantic plans unfold without interruption. Just as things between Billy and Sally begin to heat up, reality comes crashing down. Billy's phone buzzes with an urgent call from Chancellor Winters, a company crisis that demands his attention. He hesitates, torn between the woman in front of him and the never-ending demands of business. Sally urges him to answer, trying to be understanding, but the moment is already broken. The intimacy they had been building shatters in an instant, and Billy finds himself pulled away from her side once again. Left alone, Sally pours herself another glass of wine and feels the weight of disappointment settling in. She tells herself, it's not a big deal, that Billy is a man with responsibilities, but deep inside the old insecurities rise to the surface. She remembers every time someone has chosen work, family, or another woman over her. She remembers how Adam's love came with conditions and how Nick's heart was never fully hers. Now she wonders if Billy will be any different, or if she's doomed to repeat the same painful pattern. The following day, Sally vents to Chloe, who listens with a mix of sympathy and caution. Chloe doesn't hide her doubts about Billy. She points out his history with Chelsea and reminds Sally that Billy has a tendency to be his own worst enemy in relationships. Sally doesn't want to hear it, but Chloe's words echo in her mind. As much as she wants to believe Billy is different, she can't ignore that his track record is filled with complications. Meanwhile, Billy's night only grows more tangled. At Chancellor Winters, he runs straight into Chelsea, who offers her support at just the wrong time. Chelsea's presence reignites a tension that never really went away, no matter how much Billy has tried to deny it. Their conversation is professional on the surface, but it carries an undercurrent of history and unfinished business. By the time Billy makes it back to Sally, the air is thick with suspicion. Sally may not have been there, but she senses Chelsea's shadow in every word Billy says. When Sally finally confronts him about where his priorities lie, the exchange turns heated. She doesn't want to be the woman left waiting while he runs off to put out fires or gets pulled back into Chelsea's orbit. Billy tries to reassure her, but his words feel uncertain, full of the kind of ambiguity that leaves her wondering if she's setting herself up for another heartbreak. To make matters worse, Nick Newman steps into the picture at a vulnerable moment. Nick may have moved on, but his protective instincts toward Sally never truly went away. When he notices her frustration, he offers a sympathetic ear, reminding her that she deserves someone who puts her first. Their conversation is friendly, but there's a flicker of something deeper, an old spark that neither of them can completely ignore. For Sally, it's both comforting and confusing. For Billy, the thought of Nick still holding a place in Sally's heart is unbearable. By the end of the week, the night that was supposed to mark a turning point between Billy and Sally instead becomes a bitter disappointment. Instead of passion and intimacy, it ends in distance and doubt. Billy tries to make amends, but Sally isn't sure she can keep putting herself in a position where she feels like second best. Her resolve hardens, even as her heart still wants to believe in him. Billy, on the other hand, is left questioning whether he has already sabotaged something that could have been real. The ruined night becomes a symbol of everything standing in their way. Old relationships, lingering insecurities, and the constant pull of business and family obligations. Sally wonders if she should listen to Chloe's warnings, or even to the quiet part of her own heart that still remembers how safe she once felt with Nick. Billy worries that Chelsea, intentionally or not, will always find her way into his orbit, and that Sally will never trust him enough to see past that. As the week comes to a close, what should have been a beautiful beginning instead feels like the start of a storm. Billy and Sally are left staring at one another across an emotional divide, neither sure if they can build the bridge to meet in the middle. Genoa City is no stranger to broken hearts, but for these two, the pain of one ruined night may shape their choices for weeks to come.